everyone, welcome to the GrandLAN Video Blog for books that came out on May 22nd, 2009. As always, I'm Craig, your host. This is part 3 of 3, where we're going to talk about 5 DC books. If you missed parts 1 and 2, they both involve Marvel books. There's 10 really good Marvel books to talk about in those first 2. I'm sure you can find them wherever you're watching this one. I'm going to give you the no book throw promise this week. That's how good it is. Let's start with Battle for the Cowl, Arkham Asylum. A one-shot by David Hine that unfortunately is going to be overlooked. This book has so much heart, it's incredible. It's so fun to see a new look at Arkham in this direction, not just some sort of prison where we throw the Joker and Two-Face and Riddler and crap like that, but actually look into what Arkham Asylum is and deconstruct it as what it is supposed to be and how it does help these characters, you know, we've supposedly never met before, I've only met limited before, and David Hine does an excellent job. This is quite possibly one of the best one-shots that is tied into the Battle for the Cowl. And again, you know, people are going to go, well, I'm not reading the Battle for the Cowl one-shot, so I'm going to skip it. Don't skip this book. If you love David Hine's storytelling and you're looking for an interesting Batman mythology story with just so much to give, so much to offer to the mythology of Gotham in general, please get this book. It's excellent. It's top-notch. I can't say enough good things about it. It's beautiful the whole time. Meanwhile, Fabian Nicieza and Fraser Irving tackle Azrael and Azrael Death's Dark Knight number 2 of 3. Again, it's that decaf coffee. I want to talk faster, but I'm tripping over my words. Fraser Irving, I don't know why this guy is not getting more work. Maybe he can't, maybe he's having trouble hitting deadlines with his style, but still, beautiful, beautiful stuff. We get to see more of a tie into the Battle for the Cowl and the current status of Gotham in this book, unlike part 1 where it just seemed like, okay, Gotham doesn't have a Batman, now Azrael's running around, let's talk about Azrael. This actually goes back and ties in. You get a Talia appearance, you get a Nightwing appearance, and again, beautiful art from Fraser Irving. Fabian Nicieza tackling a 90s character in a new light, which, of course, if you need the 90s, you call Fabian Nicieza. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Still fun. Another good miniseries tying into the Battle for the Cowl, but not so much about the Battle for the Cowl as it is about Azrael. So if you liked that character back then, you know, get in on this. Even if you're not following the Battle for the Cowl miniseries, it's fun stuff. It's very interesting. Hey, Talia's right on the cover anyway. So, you know, really good stuff. Great art, solid writing. Very interesting build towards number 3. A good bridge between 1 and 3. You know, after reading 1, I wasn't sure where we were going, if this was just going to be another forgettable, you know, story about Azrael with no actual tie-in, to really good bridge into making a very interesting number 3 and hopefully paying off very well. I've been heaping praise on so many books this week, and I can't say enough. Detective Comics 853 was worth every second we had to wait for it. I know it's got an April cover date. Supposedly it was supposed to come out, you know, last month, but this is a damn fine comic book. In fact, I think I was thinking, you know, maybe we should have like some sort of award. We'll call it the Twin Peaks Damn Fine Cup of Coffee Award.
This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
Yeah. So we'll see how often it comes back. But this, my friends, is a damn fine comic book. It's so good. It's part 2 of whatever happened to the Cape Crusader. And you get such an interesting story that deals with Batman as a mythology, not as, you know, when did it happen? Can I pin down a date and a time of whenever Batman dies or when each of these things happen? But that's not what it's about. Let's take the existence of Batman as a character, which is really what Grant Morrison's run was intended to be about. You know, the TV show, the movies, the animated series, all the various appearances in comic books, novels, wherever he's appeared, all through his existence as a character. You take them and you wrap them all together in this giant mythology ball, and you can see so many different facets of the same character. And the way Neil Gaiman takes this and directs it over towards the classic children's book Goodnight Moon, I know a lot of people have said it's contrived, have said it's kind of cheesy, but I love it. It fit perfectly. It just spoke to me so well in a mythic, timeless, to feel like a child again as you read that. You know, I haven't turned pages of a comic book in awe in a long time, you know, just flipping pages and seeing these great pictures and evoking an emotion of what it was like to read Batman when I was 12, or what, you know, looking back on how many times I've read Batman and why personally he's one of the most fascinating comic characters ever to me. You know, DC, Marvel, any of them. You know, he's probably hands down my favorite DC character, and very, very close to my, you know, even with Marvel involved, my favorite character of all time. Just so interesting and been handled so well, and has just this rich mythology. You can talk about his rogues for, you know, hours on end. You can talk about supporting characters. You can talk about everything that is spun out from Robin and Nightwing and Batgirl and Oracle and the Birds of Prey, and he's at the epicenter of this great tapestry of comics, of great storytelling, and this captures it perfectly. No writer could have done this other than Neil Gaiman. As much as I don't like Sandman or any of his other stuff, you know, it's just not my bag. Neil Gaiman does Batman in a cerebral way, takes everything Grant Morrison wanted to say, delivers it to the masses, and makes it beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Find this book. Even if you buy this, I'm honestly thinking the premiere hardcover comes out this summer. I've already got the 2 individual issues, and I want the premiere hardcover so I can set it on a bookshelf so it doesn't sit in a bag. It feels so dirty being in a bag. It should just be held up on a different standard. This transcends comic books right here. Just awesome, awesome stuff. Then we go back down to the level of the mortal man as we review Justice League of America number 32. This is part 4, apparently, of a story that I've been following on and off through Origins and Omens and through various interruptions. And ideally, it could be good, but Dwayne McDuffie has to deal with so many various things, you know, tying into Origins and Omens, tying into whatever it was before that I'm drawing. Oh, Faces of Evil. Tying into Faces of Evil, tying into addressing why Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman are on the team, even though, you know, all of this terrible stuff happened in Final Crisis, and they've all got to leave for their various reasons. This could be a good story. It could be a fun story. It's very interesting to see also references to Hal Jordan's other team of Justice League, whatever that's going to be titled, by James Robinson. It's interesting to see them reference that. It's kind of going forward out of it, but still, it's just a mediocre book. It's just there. I love Dwayne McDuffie's writing, and I love Rags Morales on art, but it's been bogged down by so many, you know, sideshows. It's not cohesive. It doesn't come together. You can't pick up any of these individual issues and make sense of it by itself, but you also can't pick up the tapestry, the whole 4 parts that have come out so far, and say, okay, I'm going to read it straight through and think that you're getting anything other than 4 individual stories where you're going to feel completely lost at each turn. I want to like this book. It should be likable, but there's so much crap going on around it that it just hurts the book in general. It hurts the final product, and it's a shame. Dwayne McDuffie deserves better, and, you know, it's just not paying off. Lastly, Supergirl number 40, speaking of payoffs, who is Superwoman? We find out. Wowza, let me tell you. I was sitting here on this chair, and all of a sudden, whoop, I fell right down. That's what's going on in this book right here. Shocking, shocking stuff. Very interesting, though. A fun story still. Sterling Gates doing an excellent job telling, you know, a story, not just, again, we're getting out of just telling stories, oh, Superman's not around, you know, let's talk about the greater scheme of the new Krypton story, you know, let's talk about the various things that are going on, why Kryptonians are not allowed on Earth, you know, the characters that are involved in that, and you get a nice little bait and switch, you know, Supergirl thinks she knows, and it turns out she doesn't, and then she realizes who it is. Still solid stuff, and unfortunately, like I've said in the past, I think that of all the Superman books, this is the one that's again going to be looked behind. This in Action Comics, you know, people are going to go, well, I don't have to read it, it doesn't have Superman in it. You're going to miss a great story. This Supergirl, as a character, has come leaps and bounds from Michael Turner's midriff bearing, you know, drawing of Aspen in a Supergirl costume, which is essentially what it was way back in, you know, in Supergirl, in her appearance in Superman Batman when she first appeared. She's come a long way. She's been an interesting character. She's gone through so many failed relaunches, but this is so good, and it's tied to this new Krypton stuff, and it should be read. It needs to be read, and I know that it's probably not going to get there, but it's a shame because it's great stuff. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.